of the New York Stock Exchange with our Jim Cramer, who's going to answer questions from social media. Jim, I don't know if you know this song by The Clash, Do I Stay or Do I Go? It's a very old song.
All right, yeah, I'm familiar
All right,
with it.
just work with me on that. So somebody is asking, do I stay or do I go when it comes to holding Target stock? What do you do with it now?
Okay, we're doing a lot of work on Target. Obviously, we own Fraction Alerts Plus, and I just think that it turned out to be a little bit more better than Nordstrom, better than Macy's, but it happened to have the report, the unfortunate reporting period after Lowe's and Home Depot, which were really excellent, and Walmart's doing better relatively to Target. Target didn't do well online. I think the Target is a stock that we own for Action Alerts, and I'm not going to pound the table on it yet. Have to learn more, but obviously, when you have a stock like this for Action Alerts, you feel bad. You feel bad because they can't all be winners, and this one's turning out to not be a winner right now.
Well, let's move to the food sector. We've got a food theme today. Has Whole Foods bottomed?
You know what? I think the company's standing there and buying a lot of stock back, and I think that Whole Foods has a lot of firepower. I think that Whole Foods is borrowing money to even have a lot of firepower, and they're keeping it here. I want to see a quarter that's good. But can someone say, listen, I think it's done going down? I think it's a lot closer to a bottom than a top. I do think Whole Foods makes a lot of money per square foot. I wasn't crazy about them borrowing a lot of money to be able to really buy the stock here. I'd rather have them expand. But the stock has a better feel than it did for a very long time.
General Mills, is that still a good buy long term?
Oh yeah, General Mills. This is Ken Powell reinventing the company. You're not going to go wrong with General Mills. He's getting much more natural and organic. It's doing a terrific job. On the flip side, White Wave, which we own for ActionAlertsPlus.com, I think has gotten so cheap after a really great quarter that you'd be surprised that someone doesn't snap them up. I think that White Wave is being brought down by Hain, which did not have a good quarter.
How about Starbucks? Any thoughts on that?
Look, Starbucks, Howard Schultz just came back from China. I mean, it looks like it's all systems go. And Starbucks is one of the great performers of this particular era. I think that Starbucks, like Nike, those are the two that have really distinguished themselves as high-growth, large-cap companies, still places to be.
How about Amex? Why can't that grow? It's in the doghouse.
Geez, you're up against, you're up against PayPal, which we own for Action Alerts. By the way, I should mention Starbucks we own. You're up against Visa, Charlie Scharf, MasterCard, AJ Bonga. You're talking about some of the great minds. And Charlie Scharf in particular is so competitive that he's just trying to take all the business away from American Express. He would take it out of your pocket if he could rip it up for you. So they just happen to have the misfortune of being against some really gung-ho executives who are very smart.
Any holiday travel upside from Marriott, or does that deal with Starwood clip the stock?
I've gone back and forth on that one. Adam Aaron I've known for many years, and I think that Arnie Sorensen is a great manager. I think that the deal is worth more than people recognize. At the same time, Fritz Van Paschen, who ran the company, had the stock up at 78, 79 on an earnings basis back in February. So I think a lot of people are a little heartbroken. Charitable Trust sold a lot at 85 when it spiked on Chinese bid. Would buy it back at 70, just because I think it's worth more than 70.
And finally, Smith & Wesson, up a lot last year. What's the potential upside? There's political influence. What do you think of that growth?
I prefer Taser here. Taser 17. A lot of guys, that stock is down a lot and has an ecosystem around it. I think that's just a better buy. Smith & Wesson gun sales at Dick's weren't that great. I mean, that's different. It's rifles. Cabela is different. But I do think that that if you want law enforcement side of things, you go with Taser. And I appreciate the fact that people are understanding it's #CramerQ, and we're doing it on Twitter, because all these are ones that obviously, if you look at the characters that I'm talking about per question, you're just not going to be able to tell the story the way I like them. And obviously, when you have a Target or Starbucks, the best place for information on those is Action Alerts Plus. And I would love to be able to give it away so everybody can have it, but then again, how will we get paid?
Well, we got a taste of it right here. Jim is not only on Twitter, he's on Facebook. On Twitter, he's at Jim Cramer. Use #CramerQ. I'm Rhonda Shapler for The Street.
To get more of Jim Cramer's investing ideas, as well as a peek at other stocks he owns in his multi-million-dollar charitable trust portfolio, subscribe to Action Alerts Plus. Sign up for Action Alerts Plus at getcrameredge.com. That's getcrameredge.com.